Okay, let's start with a question that might blow your mind. What if I told you there's a job in Kentucky paying over $100,000 a year, and you don't need a college degree to get it? Yep, that's real. And the job? Transportation, storage, and distribution managers. Wait, what? That's not exactly the first career that comes to mind when I think high-paying, but here we are. Let's unpack why this matters, and why it might change how we think about the whole college or bust narrative. So, first off, $107,786 a year without a degree? That's not just a get-by salary. That's more than the median household income in Kentucky, which is $63,726. But here's what fascinates me, this isn't some niche gig. It's a role tied to logistics, supply chains, the whole machine that keeps modern life running. Why does this job pay so well? My guess? It's about responsibility. You're managing systems that literally move the economy. Mess up, and you're not just late for work, you're delaying products nationwide. That's high-stakes stuff, and companies are willing to pay for reliability and expertise. But wait, Kentucky ranks 9th in the country for having the smallest wage gap between non-degree jobs and the average for all jobs. That means jobs without degree requirements here pay 78.6% of the state's overall average wage. Why does this matter? Because it suggests Kentucky's economy isn't just reliant on traditional degree-heavy industries like tech or finance. It's leaning into roles that value hands-on experience, maybe even apprenticeships or certifications. And the Louisville metro area is in the top 4 nationally for small wage gaps. That's a trend, not a fluke. What's Kentucky doing right here? Are they investing in vocational training? Or is it about the state's industrial makeup? I'd bet it's both. Now, let's zoom out. The national list of top non-degree jobs includes nuclear reactor operators, elevator installers, and even gambling managers. Wait, gambling managers? That's a job? But here's the thing, these roles aren't random. They're all specialized. You don't walk in off the street and run a nuclear reactor. You train. You learn on the job. So while a degree isn't required, there's still a barrier to entry. That's a key point people miss. These aren't easy jobs, they're careers with pipelines that might include apprenticeships, military experience, or certifications. And that's where the money is. But here's a deeper question, why do we even equate high-paying with degree required in the first place? For decades, the message has been go to college or fail. But this data cracks that myth wide open. Does a sociology degree matter if you can make 6 figures managing supply chains? Maybe the bigger issue is how we define value in work. Society still stigmatizes trades or logistics roles as fallback options, but economically, they're critical. And the people in those jobs? They're solving complex problems daily, even if it's not on a spreadsheet. Let's end with a thought experiment. If you're young and trying to figure out your future, does this change your calculus? Instead of racking up student debt for a degree that might not lead to a job, could you pivot to one of these roles? Absolutely. But there's a catch, you have to be proactive about finding the opportunities. Networking, certifications, starting at the bottom, it's not a secret, but it's not as simple as apply online. And if you're in Kentucky, maybe the bigger play is looking at that wage gap and asking, where else is the state undervalued talent hiding? Because if logistics pays this well there, what's next? Truck driving? Renewable energy tech? The future's full of surprises, and not all of them require a diploma.